Beautiful Saturday night it is here in Sydney for this round 3 clash between Geelong and the Sydney Swans. Geelong very disappointing in their first 2 rounds with big losses to St Kilda and Carlton. Sydney, as they arrive onto the deck with their first win of the season last week against Fremantle by 31 points here at the SCG. It's a stadium that holds no fear for Geelong. They've won 3 of their last 4 visit up against the Swans, who we're going to see tonight with a bit of a restructured forward line, given the loss of Michael O'Loughlin with a hamstring injury during the week. Good evening, Matthew Campbell with you tonight alongside Gerard Healy. And Gerard, we're not talking fat boy slim songs. It is right here, right now for Geelong. What will we see given the rev up they've got from Mark Thompson?
Well, I think what they'll be desperate to do is just put a floor under their performances, Matt. I think they just desperately need a competitive performance. They're on a big public show here tonight. David Spriggs in particular is one player that just needs to buckle down and get some good form under his belt. Collectively, I think the question mark is, can they kick enough goals against this Sydney Swans power lineup? Looking forward, I suspect they'll have to play Stephen Doyle or Jason Ball up forward to complement Barry Hall, who's been in pretty good form. Williams and Snyder, well, they had great firepower also.
Yeah, just the 6 goals from Hall so far. Then the best is 2 after that, with no Davis, no O'Loughlin. Brett Kirk, of course, will probably get a job. Who do you think that will be?
I think it'll be probably Joel Corey. He's a dangerous player, needs to be kept in check. James Kelly, of course, is another one I think that will need to be minded. But Adam Goods is the strike foot ruckman there, and he is going to complement this forward line if, in fact, they can get the ball in there quickly enough. In fact, the defence here is so impressive for their running power. Ty Kennelly back. Well, he is just a star in the making, and Leaping Leo Barry, still an underrated player that just dominates every week.
And Saddington and Bolton do the job. They may not have a lot of height, but they get the job done. It's a running back line that provides plenty of drive. Look at the bench for Sydney. McVeigh, Buchanan has come into the side for O'Loughlin. Good to see Doyle back. It gives some flexibility to coach Paul Roos. Paul Bevan in his 3rd game. We see Paul Roos in a jumper there. We can assure you he's not going to play. He's not going to be the 5th in it. 4 changes, unfortunately. Peter McCarty's out of the side. That's a late change to Geelong, so some of that experience to come back in is not there.
No, it's not. Jared Rook gets another opportunity, but look at their forward line. They've got to find a target up there. Ken Kingsley, well, he did well in getting the ball last week, just wasn't accurate enough, and it all fell apart up forward in the second half. Good to see a young kid getting his first game, though.
Yes, Kane Tenase last week was very good. Perhaps the old on the new tonight against Stuart Maxfield, but through the middle, Cameron Ling. Now you're thinking perhaps he might go to centre half forward.
Well, I saw them warm up with the midfield group, so I suspect he's going to start there. But he looms as an option, I think, if they don't, if he gets tagged out of it or it's not working for them, just to play that ruck rover type role across half forward. As they come through the banner, this group, their body language was superb in the warm up, led by Matthew Scarlett and Mooney in the back line. I think with Tom Harley, they've got great structure down there, and that's going to make it difficult for the Swans to kick a winning score. But it's all about attitude and application from Geelong tonight.
Yes, and they're using the Gough Whitlam approach on the banner there, Gerard. It's time, pinching the old catch cry from the Labor Party. Spriggs, Rook, Chambers and Wajinski to do the job on the bench for the Cats.
To pick up Barry Hall. Barry Hall, big goal kicker for them last week. If he can close him down, that's part of the solution for the Cats. Bomber Thompson, he's had a hell of a 5 or 6 days. He's 2 hours away from getting his first joy of the year.
Umpire Brett Roseberry to get things underway here on a Saturday night at the SCG. Bounce favours Geelong. Mooney in the ruck. Interesting choice there as the ball comes to ground. Maxfield with the first kick of the night along towards Hall. Scarlett there with the spoil. At ground level, Milburn back in the side and reading it the best. Over to Johnson. Wider to the wing. Haynes on a long lead. 3rd game now for the Cats. Yet to score, David Haynes. He was a goal kicker at the West Coast Eagles. He'll need to get involved tonight if they're going to get some goals. As Tiff mentioned earlier on, only 9 and 6 in their first 2 games.
Well, it's 2 free kicks there. One could quite easily have been paid to Heath Jones. He was pulled out of the contest, but it came up with Bolton.
So Craig Bolton up along the wing. His target is Ryan O'Keefe, who gets the half volley, but he's got nowhere to go. Cameron Mooney swamps him. And we'll have another ball up. Umpires tonight, Roseberry, Nichols and Schmidt.
Back in the forward line is Tom Harley on Jason Ball. Scarlett's pushed out to cover Barry Hall.
Here's Kirk. Fosdyke. Long ball. Again towards the 45-metre line. It is here at the Sydney. Good take. Barry Hall. Hard to gauge. He's really beyond the 50-metre line if the ground was big enough here. So he'd back himself to get the distance, but the angle is tough, and so takes the easy option to Schneider. Not much further out from goal. Better angle. Loose checking by the Cats. And the Brownlow medalist right on the 45. 7 disposals against Fremantle. Very close to the man on the mark. And he worked the mark well, Mooney. The mark taken by Scarlett.
Well, that wasn't up to his normal standard. Neither was that for Matthew Scarlett, who has unfortunately coughed it up just straight out in front. And Ryan O'Keefe is the lucky recipient.
Just the 15 metres. Looked a lot closer to 10, but O'Keefe on the 45-degree angle. It's true. It's a goal. Sydney have the first against the Cats.
Playing an unusual structure here, the Cats. They've got Henry Playfair and Paul Chapman as the only two blokes in their forward line. Charlie Gardner's just floating back now, trying to get some better structure, but they're clearly trying to block up the Swans in their half.
Mooney got it to Ling, who goes short to Kelly. Back through the middle. Looking for Gardner, missed him. Goods got back to help out. Handball to Williams. James is down again. We know what sort of injury problems he's had in the past. Let's hope he's okay. Meantime, Sydney with a chance at their 45. Schneider, clever little tap, gets a 1-2 from Bolton. Long kick is a bad one. Schneider out on the full as he was pushed, and he's going to get a free kick. So let's James copying a pretty solid knee from Leo Barry. 30 goals last season. Terrific start to his career. 2 so far for 2004, 2 so far for the Sydney Swans. Perfect start for the Swans. They've been inside their forward 45 4 times already. Goods over the top of Mooney, who went again. Leo Barry mopping up. Good tackle, couldn't get his kick in, correct disposal. Holding the ball, advantage paid to Mooney. This is promising for Geelong. Their first time up forward. Haynes is there again. Out of the tackler, Crouch. Looking for some space and time. Back to Kelly within range. Not a bad shot from James. Kelly's got it. A quick answer from the Cats.
Better mark, people would have been saying 4 bites of the cherry.
Is that coming back into fashion as well? Here's Corey. Chambers. Terrible kick. Who knows what's going to happen off the bounce though. Mackie. Right with him is number 4 counterpart in Matthews, and James gets it from Williams. He's run down. The pressure again from the Cats. They've forced another turnover. So the attitude by the Geelong forward line is terrific at the moment, and Kingsley's got it just outside the 45. Distance shouldn't be a problem for the full forward. Looks pretty good off the boot. Right close to the line. It's through, and the Cats level the score. For Sydney, Goods won that knock. Bolt forcing it forward. O'Keefe caught behind, Enright in front. It's an untidy handball. Just accelerates the pressure. And the free kick going back to Geelong for in the back. So now Sydney gets some numbers back, and Geelong forced. Well, I was going to say forced to chip it. They've got to take it first. Maxfield. Back towards Buchanan. Johnson on hands and knees, trying to crawl out of defence, going nowhere. Ball up 40 metres out from the Sydney goal.
So all that hard work can be undone so quickly, and very rarely do you find many players in this competition that can find a target off one step.
The kicker was Raleigh. The error came from Wojcinski. The ball is with Kirk. Bolt. Goods. Going backwards. Free kick off the ball. It's against Wojcinski. Bolton, 2 goals so far in the first 2 games. Happy with it. He's got 3 and he's had 7 disposals.
Just waiting on the umpire to see the light.
And he has. Well, if he turns around, he will. Some last-minute instructions for former player Brad Seymour, running for the Swans.
That's Lotto news.
We're away in the second quarter. Cameron Mooney back in the ruck, and again it's Kelly with the clearance for Geelong. Doing well in that area. Attack on the ball was good by Mackie. Sydney gets some numbers back. Haynes diving through and knocking it forward. Matthews wrapped up by Mackie. Again with a second effort. Kelly. Gee, the work rate by Geelong at the moment is terrific. James keeps it in. Back to Williams, over to Fosdyke now. Kirk, over the top to Fosdyke. Good running, around the body. Only as far as Darren Milburn.
Well, I'm not surprised that Andrew Mackey's come into the side because he is just giving Bomber Thompson everything that they didn't have last week. And the attack on the ball and on the man, the tackling is ferocious from the young kid.
Over to the outer side now as Geelong go forward through Hunt. And on a long lead again is Chapman. Confident start by Geelong early in the second term wave. Angle, right on 45. It's going left. He wants it to come back. It did. Did it do it enough? It did. Cats level the scores. Scores level with the Cats getting the first goal of the second term. Chapman second for the season. Goods wins the knock through McVeigh. Williams with some skill goes back. Messy handball. That was James who coughed it up. And this is young Mackey. He was the smoky surprise draft a year ago.
This will be his first kick in league footy.
And a percentage kick to the top of the square. And a good take. Fine mark. Kicked 2 last week. Needs to kick straight. Does so. Cats in front for the first time this evening. Andrew Mackey on screen once again. Enjoying his debut so far. Cats fans watching back home would be very pleased with what they see at the moment. Long way to go as Fosdyke drives it forward. That's the attack on the footy that Mark Thompson wants. And again, it's Darren Milburn. Switches wide.
Well, we saw in the first quarter that Saddington went up and manned up on Milburn, therefore he finished up in the forward line, and probably he'll end up doing that again tonight.
Enright gave it to Harley, goes forward, strong mark. Chapman for his second to put the Cats 2 ahead. Pretty good off the boot. He's got it. He's got 2. It's an 18-point margin. Make that 12. Chapman becomes the first multiple goal scorer on the ground. Once again, back in the middle, and this is where Geelong have been on top, even though Adam Goods is getting his hand to it. Williams couldn't quite get the kick. Johnson didn't take it. Milburn with some poise, under pressure, went wide. Kingsley, clever take on the half volley. Back through the middle to Haynes. He's gone long inside the 45. Play fair the target. It was Gardner. James wants Crouch, who's happy to see it over the boundary line.
Saddington has pushed forward and he's just trying to be the target man, but they've crossed the ball.
Free kick was paid, and it's back now to Bolton, who's on the outer side. Hard running by O'Keefe. It's got clear of Mooney. With some time now, onto the left. Long ball, Barry Hall, nudged out by Scarlett. Umpire paid for holding. Regardless of that, Hall has the free kick.
Well, I think they're better suited with Barry Hall out at that centre-half forward, and I think it drags Scarlett away from where he's most comfortable as well.
Just a little touch of the jumper there, wasn't it? They went wide, still got possession. Schneider, back to McVeigh. Scoots around a couple, gets inside 45 and finishes beautifully. By Rosebery.
Joel Corey, like the rest of the competition, struggling to get away from a vice-like grip of Captain Kirk. 2 possessions, 2 kicks and 2 handballs only.
Here is Kirk to ball, just straight through the tackle. McVeigh for 2 in a minute. Oh, hits the woodwork. He was trying to ride it through. Just to behind, and Sydney have, well, they've kicked into gear a bit. Ball got straight through. Not to be. 5-point ball game. Cats will go wide. This is Hunt.
Any value in that kick, Wayne? Surely the zone just pushes across one.
Yeah, I don't think there's a great deal of value, but perhaps that's a lack of confidence to go long for Geelong.
Well, Gardner spilled it. Taikinelli can make him pay. Short pass to Hall. Well within range. Not a difficult kick for a very skillful player. He gets the goal. Swans back in front.
The It's good signs for
good,
Geelong.
isn't it? Yeah.
It's good signs because they've got a kid that's growing in confidence. And, you think through the pre-game strategy, as a free kick looks to be coming back to the Sydneys, to the Cats.
Way back in the at the edge of the centre square to Chambers. But you're right, it's a confident play for at the moment.
They've isolated the weakness and they're trying to expose it by banging it in the air and have Big Henry do the jumping.
He's headed to the goal square now. He wants it high again. He attacks the footy. A little bit of a nudge out. James peels off the pack and goes to Bolton, who's in a little bit of space. Sydney like to run it from here. The turnover, the smother. It falls to Gardner. Around the body. He kicks the goal. They get one back from a Sydney error. His first score for the season puts them 8 points up. And their pressure tackles at the moment are keeping them in the game, the Cats, 23-16. There's Enright, gives it back to Raleigh, and the Cats growing in confidence. Baginski to Kelly. Just smothered, and now perhaps Sydney on the turnover as Crouch didn't have it. He'll get the free kick.
And that's the issue I think you'll outline so correctly, is it's the Swans, because they've just not been up to their normal standards of attack, and they haven't coped with Bomber Thompson's strategies. They've played the Geelong side into some form. Geelong came here with so many skeletons in the closet, they wouldn't have taken a hell of a lot to expose that lack of confidence, and yet they're playing like a side who was on a mission.
Ty Kennelly in strife once again. He's come off. Would it be fair to say that they're almost waiting for errors, Sydney, trading off Geelong's errors? None there, though. Coming back. Wrong side of the post. Yeah. Off the ground, Crouch. Take it any way you can. About 65 metres around from the Sydney goal. Goods. He's almost winning the ruck contest at will. Milburn's been good for the Cats. Kelly has to give on the up. Decided to get his hands free. Perhaps it cost the turnover. Crouch, inventive. Still with Geelong, though. Ball forward. It came from Enright. And away goes Sydney now. Saddington in the middle of the ground. Long ball. Geelong with some numbers. Scarlett went to help out. Ablett trying to knock it forward. Barry Hall now. Caught by Enright. O'Keefe back to Buchanan. He swapped. So too is Kirk. Good pressure by Geelong defence. Enright down on the ground. Milburn somehow had some time. Needs to hit the body. Doesn't. It's going to come back very quickly. Goods. Back where it just came from. High ball. Jason Ball coming. Not to be.
Just
good,
not working,
strong
Jason Ball. He's just not quick enough coming forward. And Tom Harley's got his measure very quickly down on the boundary line. Tiff Cherry.
Yeah, the not good news for Ty Kennelly. He hasn't re-emerged from the rooms, and the word from the Swans bench is that he's having severe pains in his stomach.
We want to see him again then.
Henry Playfair has taken another mark as he presented. We're back with 3 Swans. One of them is Ball. Goods went without it. Tackle from Corey, heads back in the Jason Ball direction. The talk from Bevan. He gets it down. Not a good kick. 2-on-1. Milburn is clean. It's been a welcome return to this team for Darren Milburn. Haynes. Low on the wing. Kelly. No, play on. Round the body. He kicked one like this in the first turn. He's got 2. James Kelly now with 2, joins Paul Chapman. Kelly also with 14 disposals. Leading disposal winner in the game as Buchanan gets one high and will take the free kick. Certainly made the umpire certain that he copped one there. Came into the side. Just going to ground there, McVeigh. Raleigh got back and he wants Playfair again. Now he stood and waited. A learning experience for Playfair. He took 5 marks already in this quarter. And James makes him pay. Goods, tucked up, tight angle. Looking to lay off. Wayne, how will he go?
Well, last year's Brownlow medalist. Right side for a right footer. He'll pass.
Thank you very much.
got it in the hands of the right bloke.
He's giving it to Paul Williams. He'll kick from inside the 45-metre line to bring the margin back to just 2 points. It's perfect. And he gets Haynes. It's one for the videotape there. How did that happen? Haynes drives it up to the wing to Gardner. Chapman on a lead. This time he's got it again. No mistake here. Into the pocket. Good pass. Good precision play. But Kingsley's on a tight angle.
He seems to rarely have a shot in front of goal, Ken Kingsley. He's always on angles. Generally gets his opportunities on the long lead.
As you'd expect, James Kelly on top of the rankings, courtesy of the weight of that possession and some very effective disposals. Hasn't kicked a goal for the year. It's just 3 behinds. They need this, the Cats, and he delivers.
But all still available to go out in the ground.
They are.
9 minutes remaining. The SCG crowd trying to get their team back in front, will them into a lead. Matthews is wrapped up. A couple of Cats there. Johnson tries to flick it back, but Maxfield was in the way. Barry Hall and Scarlett have enjoyed that. Here's O'Keefe in front of Mooney. 2-on-1. Mooney did enough to allow Corey to get through. Crowd not happy, but it's play on. Ling has got to go inside, and he does. Wojcinski, a running machine, to the goal square. 1-on-1. Oh, Kelly just misread it. He's going to get a free. That is lucky.
And that's something that would please Mark Thompson.
3 goals to James Kelly.
Great lesson for any kids out there that want to be a full forward.
Will it come back to haunt him again? It remains to be seen. There's plenty of time left. Joel Corey now for Geelong. Cameron Ling's got to be 2, maybe 3. And the 3 wins out. Crouch, Crumming, into the centre. Poor kick. Jason Ball won't be happy with that. That's a terrible result for Sydney. They had all the run there. Oh, speaking of run, that's holding the ball. Great chase by Schneider. Can he kick the goal? Can he make up for Jason Ball? He can't. Deserved the goal. Opportunity gone begging for Sydney. Schneider knows it. Geelong having trouble getting it out of their defensive 45 at the moment. They're under siege. And they're just taking... Oh, that is woeful.
Well, speaking of stage fright, Jason Ball struggled with the kick, but Geelong are just nowhere near the side they were at the other side of this three-quarter time break.
Can he make amends? It looks okay. It's there. He's got 2. And the Swans are back in it.
I mean, the pass was on. It was reasonable, but so was going back and shooting from 40 metres.
Right against the boundary line. Geelong haven't scored yet in this term. They probably won't here either. Crouch, Saddington, the Swans share it. Schneider gets distance with the kick. 1-on-1. Hall pushes Scarlett out the way. He'll go back, and he could put the Swans in front. The Swans to hit the front. 48 metres out. Giddy up.
Change coming, some experience coming onto the ground. Mooney on. Play fair. In fact, it's Chambers coming from the ground.
Corey Enright just holding his arm coming off as well. David Johnson come on, so problems for Enright. Problems for the Cats. Here's Enright's tackle on Buchanan. And just going to ground and getting his hand caught underneath.
Got the overlap.
Buchanan. Yeah. Chapman needs to hit a target. He's going to back himself to run around O'Keefe. Gets to centre wing. Long ball. Sydney in the best spot. Spriggs spoiled and has another chance. A third effort. He's trying to get it forward. The resolute defence of Sydney is good enough though. Kennelly to run. Opening up ball. Kirk still going. McVeigh's the second option. Long and direct once more. Adam Goods with the nudge. It may even bounce over the top. Goods kicks the goal. Time running out, though, for the Cats. It's 2 straight kicks now. They've got to get some run. Got to take a risk. That kick could be the one.
It's a great kick.
Yep. Onto the chest of Milburn. Geelong, though, not really any running players coming past. At last, the unlikely one was Mooney. Chapman going back, doing well, though. Crouch got in his way. Kennelly back to Saddington. With the numbers again, Sydney. Got to hand it to their defence in this last term. Hardly put a foot wrong. Been very poised under pressure. Mooney to ground. Matthews trying to release Schneider. He's got it now. Shares it with Bolton. Short. No one there for Sydney. Out on the full. 2 kicks in it. Sydney now sensing that they may have done enough.
Adam Goods now pushing up the ground.
Yeah, away from the goal square now. Geelong looking to switch it. Can't afford to miss targets in the last 2 minutes. Johnson over the top. Raleigh. Mackie, the first gamer. Look out. Got it inside. Got it well. Got it beautifully to Kingsley. Paid the mark.
Well, Mackey's a godsend. He can kick the footy and he's quick. He's going to be a player for the Cats.
Quite simply, Kent Kingsley has to kick this goal. Distance shouldn't be a problem. Question of accuracy. It's there. The Cats are alive. Somehow, they haven't scored for the quarter. Somehow, within the last minute, they've kept themselves a kick within a draw.
That's all they had to do. We spoke about Barry Hall go back and kick the long goal. Kent Kingsley. Look, I've been impressed with this young fella tonight. Really didn't have an option there. What he's done is get it moving forward inside 50 very quickly, force Kent Kingsley to move up on the lead. That's a very good goal with a minute remaining.
Exactly. The equation is simple. 1 straight kick for the Cats to tie it up. Centre clearance, important. Sydney win it through Williams. Harley in front. He's had a good last quarter. Free kick for holding. Advantage paid. Geelong with the last roll of the dice. Goods gets back to help out. Mooney just pushes off his teammate Kelly. He's gone. He managed to get the boot to the ball. He's getting a free kick for too high.
Yeah, Mooney's given away a free kick.
Oh, no.
No, he hasn't.
Now
He's reversed it.
Yep.
Gee, let one fly and he reversed it.
34 seconds. Wojcinski just gets his kick. Cats need a mark. It's not to be. And young Heath James, the saviour. And he will slow it down. Just 20 seconds remaining. A turnover is what Geelong need. Leo Barry's going to make sure it doesn't come. Counting down the clock, Sydney have come from behind in the last term. They will win this game by the solitary kick. Geelong just couldn't find that avenue to goal in the final term. The SCG crowd roar. The Geelong players stand with hands on hips, wondering just what might have been, wondering whether their three-quarter effort was ever going to give them a chance to win.